I have two things to say about the Atlanta Falcons. Number one, sound the alarm, we're in danger. Oh my God, he sucks. He's terrible. And number two, relax. So listen, Atlanta's in a really interesting situation. They have a winning record going into the bye week for the first time since 2017, and they were only 3-1 with a week 5 bye week that year. So before everyone freaks out, let's give credit where credit is due. We're 6-5, have a winning record, we still lead the NFC South, and our playoff hopes are alive and well. This is the best Falcons team I've seen in years, but I want to point out a few things. We are not and have not been a great football team all season. And when I say great, I'm saying you can't put us in the same conversation as the Lions, Bills, Ravens, Vikings, Commanders, and other 6 to 8 win teams. The most positive takeaway I can consistently come up with is how resilient we are. We do find ways to win, but our offense and defense rarely click at the same time. Let's take a look at our wins. 1 point over the Eagles, 2 points over the Saints, 6 points over the Bucks, 5 points over the Bucks, 6 points over the Cowboys, and a good 18-point win over the Panthers. But none of these are overly impressive wins. Now, I'm more than happy to finally be on the other side of these close games, but if we take a really close look, we come to find out just how bad our defense actually is. Since our Week 6 win against Carolina, our defense has allowed 27 points and 382 yards per game. And Fox Sports currently has us ranked at 25th overall. Our offense, on the other hand, has averaged 19 points and 356 yards per game, and we're ranked 7th overall. There's a very clear decline that has happened over these past 5 weeks, and we desperately need something to change. Now, luckily it's our bye week. Every single team needs a reset where they evaluate what is and isn't working. But our offense definitely needs to regain their footing and figure out how to finish a drive. 6 points is unacceptable with all of the offensive weapons we're paying for. I'm still not in love with Zach Robinson's play calling, but I do see potential, so we'll reevaluate that at the end of the season. But our defense, man, our defense is like really bad. And we made all these offseason moves too. It's just not paying off. Jimmy Lake's defensive scheme is questionable at best, and I would love if Raheem Morris, a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator, would call our plays, but I digress. And looking at where the division sits currently, we're still in the best position possible to win the NFC South. We lead by 2 games and completely control our destiny. Now, we do come out of the bye week and host the 7-3 Chargers, and as much as I want to play an easier game to secure that 7th win, I'm kind of glad we're getting put to the test immediately. After that, we travel to Minnesota, and there's just no telling how this game is going to unfold. Then, we hit a 2-week stretch of easy games that include a trip to Las Vegas and a Christmas Eve game against the New York Giants. These teams have 4 total wins combined, just so you know. And before we play the Panthers to end the regular season, we'll play a pretty solid Commanders team at Northwest Stadium, and that'll have big implications for the NFC playoffs. At worst, I think we go 3-3 in this stretch and end our season 9-8. That's a winning record and more than likely a trip to the playoffs. But if we make the necessary adjustments during this bye week, I can see us going 4-2, maybe even 5-1. The thing is, there's no clear-cut journey for Atlanta right now. It's absolutely their path to carve. I still believe in this team, and I really think you should too. It's not pretty, but it's still year 1. A new coach, new coordinators, new quarterback, new atmosphere. These final 6 games will define us in a lot of ways. Are they going to make the adjustments necessary to make the playoffs, or will their defensive woes take over and ruin this otherwise decent season? Can they fight back into relevancy or continue to be the poverty franchise that still gets clowned by 28-3 jokes nearly 8 years later? And you know what? Who really knows? All we can do is have hope and, as always, rise up.